I'm Rachna and I'm back with a new lesson. Today's lesson is about the common errors people make while speaking, probably with their friends, colleagues, at the workplace, and with family. Many a times people get confused with either pronouns, tenses, verbs, and a lot of common expressions. So I thought to take up this lesson today, and I've compiled a few sentences into a chapter, and let's take each sentence and see what are the mistakes people make and how we should use these sentences correctly. So I have a few examples here on the board. The first example says, my friend asked me, do you know to play soccer? Basically, he asked me whether I know how to play soccer. So when you ask a question asking someone whether they know how to do something or play a game, you say, do you know how to play soccer? So when you ask a question which indicates asking someone whether they know to do something or they don't, you use the word how. Let's move on to the next example. In the second example, I'm giving an exam next week. Well, friends, the other day I just happened to meet one of my friends, and I asked her, what are you doing? And she said, I'm very busy preparing for my exams, and next week I'm giving an exam. This is a very common error made. Actually, she is not giving an exam, she is taking an exam. The examiner or the professor gives you an exam, and as a student, you take an exam. So the correct sentence is, I am taking an exam next week. I hope this is clear to you now. Let's move on to the third example. Did you went to the party? Well, basically this is a question in the simple past tense where we have used an auxiliary verb asking a question. So when you use did in a sentence, the verb that follows always has to come in the present or the basic form. You cannot say did you went because did is already standing in the second form, that's do, did and done. So the verb that follows did will always come in the present form. A lot of people generally say that I didn't came to office yesterday. Well, this is wrong. I didn't come. So did you went is wrong. I didn't came is wrong. Please remember the verb that follows did is always in the present form, and that still means that the question or the sentence is a simple past sentence. Let's take a look at the next example. I am having a house in Scotland. Basically, the verb have is used or it signifies something that you possess, is to have. So technically, at the moment, I have a house in Scotland. It's a present continuous tense. But though you have a house at this very moment, have is an exceptional verb and doesn't come in the ing form when you use it to indicate a possession. When you say I'm having lunch, when it have replaces the verb eat, then you can use it with an ing like this. So this is a correct sentence because have here indicates eating. But when you talk about a possession or to possess something, you do not put have in the ing, though you are trying to indicate at this very moment the possession is on or it is continuous. You always put it in the simple present form, I have a house. Okay. So now let's take a look at the fifth example. I and my family went for a holiday. Now this is a basic mistake people make when they talk about well, I and my pronouns. You always say my family and I, my colleague and I went for a movie, my friends and I are going out to a party. So my family and I. Please remember, I always comes at the end, even if you're talking about three people like James, Richard and I. Now let's take a look at the sixth example. This song is more better than the earlier one. Now first let's understand, better is a comparative adjective. When it is already in the comparative form, you do not use more because better already indicates it is, it is beyond good. So you do not use more. The three forms are good, better and best. So you have already used the comparative form. You will not use more. Another common mistake people say is, I am more happier now than before. So again, you will not use more because happier is already in the comparative form of the adjective. So I hope these 6 examples are clear to you. We'll take a look at some more examples. So here I have a few more examples for you. Let's take a look at the 7th one. I'm working in a bank since 8 months. Now here what we're trying to say is this action of working in a bank is over a long period of time and something that started in the past and is continuing in the present. So here we've used the present continuous tense, which is wrong, because when someone asks you where are you working, you say I'm working in a bank. That is fine. But when you want to say or when you want to talk about an action that started in the past and is still going on, you will say I have been working in a bank for 8 months. When you talk about the number of months, days, weeks, years, you will use for the duration. But when you want to specify the exact time, date, month or year, you will use since. That is your point of time. So you can say I've been working in a bank for 8 months, or you say I've been working in a bank since May. So please remember, when you talk about an action that started in the past and is continuing in the present, you will use the present perfect continuous tense. I have been working for 5 years or since 2010. Let's move on to the next example. I apply SPF 50 before leaving my house. So I use a sunblock before I leave my house. Now, here, though you actually do the action of applying, you do not use the word apply. You say I wear SPF 50. I wear cosmetics. I wear a red color lipstick. Or you ask your friend which cologne do you wear. So the correct verb is wear and not apply. I hope this is clear to you now. Let's move on to the next example. You call an office and the manager is not there. So the secretary says he'll revert back to you in some time. Now, when you use the word revert, it means to return a call or a message back. So you do not say revert back because revert means to return a call back. So a lot of people say he'll revert back, which is wrong. You will only say he'll revert to you in some time. Let's move on to the next example. We enjoyed camping despite of the rains. Now, in spite of and despite both mean the same. We use these terms when you want to say something that has happened even though there was a factor that might have prevented it. So the mistake here is when you use despite, you do not use of. You say we enjoyed camping despite the rains, or we enjoyed camping in spite of the rains. So with despite, you will not use of. Okay, now let's go to the last example. One of my friend is an architect. Now I have a lot of friends, so when I'm talking about one of many, I have to put the noun in plural. So it is one of my friends, or one of my colleagues is leaving the office. This is a very common error people make. They generally say one of my and put the noun in singular, which is wrong. You always say one of my friends, but please remember the verb that follows will always be a singular verb, because we are talking about one of many. So you say one of my friends, one of my colleagues, and or you can say one of my neighbors has, the verb in the plural. One of my neighbors has. So friends, these are the common mistakes people make while they are speaking. I hope this confusion or whatever little doubts you had is clear to you now. I'm sure you'll find this lesson useful, and please do put in your comments and queries. I'll be back soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.